Today we're going to be talking about why abortion should be legal. I'm Garnet the Inquisitive Veteran, and let's get started. So to begin this, I want to say a couple things and give you some statistics. I am morally opposed to abortion. I would never ask a woman to get one, and I would never force her to get one, but that's my choice. I also believe that it is a woman's right to choose what she does with her body. I don't think that I should have the right to tell someone else what to do. I mean, as long as they're not hurting anyone and they're not out there, causing havoc. If a woman wants to have an abortion, I think it should be completely legal. Up to a point. So, to put this in perspective, in 2013, about 20% of all pregnancies ended in an abortion. And that sounds horrible. That's a large number. But if you take the number of miscarriages and average the range, which the lowest number and the highest numbers that I found, it went from 8% to 30%. So if you take the average, that's 19%. That's a 1 percentage point difference. However, I believe that there should be certain limits placed on abortion. I think that abortion should take place at about the 13 week mark or sooner, if possible. And considering the fact in 2013, 91.6% of all abortions happened at 13 weeks or sooner, that would fit into my moral code. I also believe that after 13 weeks, the only times that a woman should be able to get an abortion are in cases of, there's something life-threatening to her. If the fetus isn't going to be able to come to term, because there was a case in Texas where a woman, her child died inside of her and she wasn't able to get an abortion, so she had to come to full term with a dead baby inside of her because Texas has archaic abortion laws. And, if there's some unforeseen circumstance where you have to choose between the mother and the child, and if the mother chooses that she wants to survive, you should follow her wishes. It isn't up to me or to you to dictate how another person lives their life. Like I said, I'm against abortion, but I don't believe I have the power or the right to reach inside of the woman's womb and say, this is more important than your freedom. And over the last 8 years, when I've actually been paying attention to politics, several people are saying that they want freedom, they want the right to choose like their own health care or be able to own a gun. And shouldn't the same apply to a woman's uterus? I mean, you shouldn't try to hold someone back from something that they believe is right for them. Now, you might say, well, she could give it up for adoption. Well, let's talk about that for a minute, shall we? If you really believe that a woman should give up her child for adoption instead of getting an abortion, and you haven't adopted a child right now, stop this video and go out and adopt a child. It should be simple, right? If you're that morally opposed to abortion, you should show that there is a demand for women being able to give up a child without having to go get an abortion. I know that sounds kind of cold, but that's how I view it. I mean, is our, foster care system that great? No, it really isn't. A lot of sexual abuse happens to children in foster care because they tend to get left in foster care for a very long time and not have a permanent home. So, another objection that people have is it's their religion. Well, over the last 8 years, people have said that they don't want Sharia law in America, and I agree. I don't think that there should be laws based on religion. However, that applies, in my personal opinion, to every religion. If you have a religious objection to abortion, that's your religion. religious objection to abortion. Your religion doesn't apply to anyone but you. You can't tell me how to live my life based on rules made up by Bronze Age goat herders that had no clue where the sun went at night. Personally, I like to wear my mixed fabrics and eat shrimp every once in a while. I also like to eat pork once in a while as well. These are all things that are banned by most religions. And if you have a religious objection, but you're one of those people who believe that your God has some sort of divine plan for everyone, wouldn't that fall under it? That part of his or her divine plan would be for this woman to get an abortion no matter what? Because they used to do that. Before 73, women had to go to back alley abortion clinics, and that was dangerous for them. If they weren't ready for a child and they went and got an abortion, there was a chance that it would kill them or render them sterile. And that's a horrible thing to do. What if they just don't have the financial means, or they had a one-time fling with someone and the condom broke and they got pregnant? And especially in 73, there was still societal pressure for much greater than today for people to get married if there was an unwanted pregnancy between, two young people. And that's unfair to force someone into a marriage. And speaking of unwanted pregnancies, if a condom breaks, what if someone has taken every available step to prevent pregnancy on birth control and using a condom and the always effective pull-out method at the same time, and the girl still gets pregnant? They've been responsible, which is one of the arguments used against abortion, that people need to be more responsible. Well, if they have been responsible and they've taken every available precaution, by that logic, should they not be allowed to get an abortion? It's a tricky subject, and I'm going to be covering another part of it in the next video, where I talk about the problems with our sexual education system and how very conservative most Americans are regarding sex, and how we should prevent unwanted pregnancies to reduce the demand for abortions in my next video. But I want to hear what you have to say, so leave a comment below. Throw me a like or a dislike, depending on how you liked or hated what I had to say. And please subscribe, either up above if you're on your computer or laptop, or down below if you're on mobile. And I'll see you next time. This is the Inquisitive Veteran, poppin' smoke.